What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm starting to feel a little better, trying to get myself all the way better from this cold. Been, drinking a lot of tea, taking medicine, so on and so forth, all of the above. But I just I want to make this point, y'all. This is to the younger men on this channel and younger men that come across this video. Y'all, a lot of older gentlemen be lying to y'all about who they are, who they were growing up, and they develop fake personas. Okay, and they try to chastise y'all about who you are as a person, and so on and so forth, especially as it pertains to dealing with women. They try to chastise y'all and tell you don't know what you're doing and you this and you that, and they put on this machismo like they just the biggest players, the biggest savants when it come to women, and they don't be knowing what they be doing either still to this day. All right. Now, the genesis of this conversation comes from Mr. Aries Spears. And I meant to make this video a month ago. I remember I was on my way to work, or I was on my lunch break, and I saw this video from Aries Spears, right? And it was from Vlad TV, right? And he on there talking to Vlad. And Vlad exposes that Aries Spears has been married to the same woman twice. He's been married and divorced twice, and he's getting ready to marry the same woman he's been divorced from twice again, right? And in this conversation, DJ Vlad reveals that Aries, because Aries said it in the stand-up comedy routine, stand-up comedy special, he says that his ex-wife got $30K a month in alimony from him when she divorced him. First, then hold on, wait a minute. Vlad asked him who filed for divorce, and he said, we're not going to get into all of that. Of course she filed, brother. Of course. That's why you don't want to get into it. He ain't trying to go into particulars. Vlad asking him, well, how long were you married the first time? How long were you married the second time? He ain't trying to go into particulars. He don't want to talk about it. And it's crazy because he want to talk about everybody else information, everybody else business, everybody else relationship stuff. But when he gets asked about his, he really don't like it, right? And listen, I'm going to say this. You do what you want to do. As a man, as a human being, do what you want to do. The problem I have with Aries Spears is that Aries walks around like his persona is he is the biggest alpha male you've ever seen in your life. And I hate that term alpha male because a lot of dudes be using it and they don't be on shit in life. All they do is talk loud and act aggressive, and they think that's being an alpha male. A lot of dudes that talk loud and are super aggressive are suckers and goofies. And I've seen it every day. Growing up in Chicago, you know what I mean? I done ran into dudes that talk loud and got a big loud bravado and don't be on a crumb. Don't be on shit.com. You feel me? And I noticed that when I was a young boy, even into my early adult years. Now I'm 32 years old and I still see it to this day with a lot of men, right? They just know how to talk good. Talk a good game and act flashy, but don't be on nothing. And when you find out things about their personal life, you be like, man, what? He be doing all this talking, and this woman, he hiding out in this woman bushes every day, trying to catch her with another dude. He out here blowing up her phone, running behind her, chasing behind her. He out here crying, and he writing love letters to the girl after the girl is caught cheating on him. He keep on begging for her forgiveness for him catching her cheating. All this crazy stuff, right? But okay, I remember when Aries Spears, and I had to catch myself too, the Travis Hunter situation. Y'all know Travis Hunter, Heisman Trophy winner, star receiver / cornerback at Colorado. He's been recently drafted to the Jacksonville Jaguars. His whole personal life had hit the internet with his girlfriend and so on and so forth and everything. And I had to kind of pull back too, because I had to recognize that this is a young man. And in our younger years, a lot of men do crazy stuff. We do things that we aren't proud of. We make mistakes that we like, yo, I wish I had better discernment, so on and so forth. And I had to stop. And I'm like, let me stop myself, because there are things that I've done as a younger kid, or things that, I didn't realize I didn't have the best discernment in certain situations. And I'm like, I got to, pull back myself. But Aries was piling on Travis Hunter, calling him game goofy, calling him just like acting like he was the biggest goofy around, like he was just the biggest like novice as it comes to women, and acting like he just doing the goofiest shit in the world. And I'm looking like, brother, you about to get married for a third time to a woman that was ripping your pockets off. You feel me? And your reason is because I love her, right? And he would call anybody else that does that a lame. He would call them a simp. He would call him every name under the book. He like, and Vlad says, well, just because you love her, that don't mean you have to keep getting married to her, especially considering what happened before financially with you all. He like, but I believe in all of that. I'm a romantic. I believe in all of that, though. I believe in it, and so on and so forth. And I'm telling you, Aries would, if Travis Hunter were to do this, Aries would talk about Travis Hunter to no ends. I mean, he would clown him out. He would call him the biggest sucker around. All of the above, right? But now when it's him, oh, I love her, and you can't help who you love, and all this and all of that. Well, when did you become so when did you become so romantic and so about love life and so about love and all of that? Because that's not what you were saying about Travis Hunter. You was calling him game, goofy, and all of that. And as it stands, Travis Hunter has not got his pockets broke off for $30K a month. Not at least not right now. You know what I mean? So, and he ain't going back and marrying a girl that divorced him twice and keep going back and running back and forth to her. Okay? Now, again, you do what you want to do. For real, I'm not even critiquing him because he's done this. I'm not. Do what you want to do in your life as a man. Only reason I'm critiquing him is Aries will get on social media. He will get on YouTube and Instagram and act like he is above this shit happening to him. He will act like this is something that will never happen to him, all of that. And I think he felt the way that Vlad revealed this. You know what I mean? That Vlad revealed this information to him, to the world rather, and Vlad was like, you trying to dodge the question. He's like, I ain't trying to dodge the question, man. I don't remember how long we was married for. He lying. He's lying. He just knows that part of the interview from Vlad killed his whole persona, that I'm the biggest macho man and biggest, all that shit talking he be doing like he just the biggest, manliest man in the world, and he's the biggest alpha male. All that stuff get killed when you keep running back and forth to the same girl that keep on ripping your pockets off. You keep running to marry her when you don't even got to do that, right? And listen, again, I wouldn't even be critiquing him if he didn't have this persona. Like, he would do this to any other person. You feel me? Any other person. Because he talks all this alpha male stuff about all these other dudes. Let one of these dudes had done this. Travis Hunter, anybody else, he would talk about them to the end of earth. For real. He would talk about them to the end of earth. Especially any of these old dudes too. And because a lot of them, I'm not disrespecting older gentlemen. Again, my father is an older gentleman. Okay? My uncles and all of them was all around me, raising me. I hung around older crowds of people since I was younger because my brothers were older than me, significantly older than me. And I was my father's youngest child by far. You know what I'm saying? And then, my uncles and cousins around me, I was around them a lot. So I'm not denigrating anybody for their age. What I'm saying is that a lot of men put on these personas for younger men and act like they was just the top of the top and just the cream of the crop when it came to women. Like they was the biggest pimps and savants around. They was the biggest players you ever seen. And you find out all this type of stuff. The girl had him running in circles like a chicken with his head cut off. The woman was just using his money up. He was the biggest trick in the world for her. She was breaking off his pockets all the time and then wasn't even showing him any love, any affection. He was buying her attention. You find this out about dudes around the way. And I found this out about a lot of men who was in the hood talking a lot of shit and acting like they was the biggest players around, like Aries Spears be doing. And you find out, boy, that woman was running you up a wall. And that ain't the first time you've been ran. That ain't the only time you've been ran up a wall by a woman. All your dating life, you done been hiding in bushes, jumping out of bushes on women. You done been going, you done been stalking them. You done been, trying to beg the girl to stop cheating on you. All of that. And you didn't contacted other men about the girl. All of this stuff. And they will act like they've never done all of this. They will act like all of this is above them. Like they just too cool for school. And you find out, man, hell no. I know the dudes you grew up with and they told me this, that, and the third. The women that you grew up with told me how you get down and what you be doing. And you acting like this is above you. This will never happen to you. You be looking like, knock it off, fam. I know how you get down. And Aries ain't no exception to that. Because for all that, your woman, your ex-wife took $30K from you, $30K a month. $30K a month from you. I ain't even know Aries was getting to it. Like, of course, Mad TV was a big deal. Let me stop. And he's been doing comedy for a long time, and he do big venues. But damn, getting $30K a month out of you, you gotta be, you caked up. And she want all of that pay, majority of it. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. She want a majority of your cake. You know, and the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Because what you think gonna happen this time? You think it's gonna be all good and all gravy now? Hell no. No, she gonna keep getting married to you and ripping them pockets off. You feel me? Especially if you just keep, I love her. And you would never allow Travis Hunter to say he with a girl because he love her. You would be like, fuck love. That's what you young boys, that's y'all problem. Y'all suckers, you simps, you this and you that, you weak, you weak-minded. All that, man, let me tell you, Aries can't stand LeBron James. Let LeBron James have been doing this. He'd have been like, see, the young boy grew up without a father, the single mother shit he doing, you single mother raised, you don't understand shit, you're weak as a man, you don't stand on nothing. All these dudes that talk all this alpha male shit be getting done like suckers. The girl be at the house running their every move, dictating how often they can talk to their parents, how often they can communicate with their parents, dictating how often they can communicate with their kids from their previous relationships, dictating how often the kids can come over from the previous relationship, even though he paying majority of the bills in the house. All of the dudes be, all these dudes, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of the older dudes be talking shit, and that's all they be doing, just talking shit, because it sound good coming out their mouth. And it sound like it make themselves feel better when they talk like that. It make them feel like a top dog. Aries be doing it all the time, and we done seen his card get pulled by other dudes. Now we found out his ex-wife, she probably gonna keep swindling him. And again, if that's what you want to do that. But you can't be out here poking your chest out like you just the biggest alpha male king of the block and king of the all males and all seeing male, and you just the epitome of masculinity and the paragon of masculinity. You're doing all of that, and then you're getting run amok, led astray, hoodwinked, bamboozled. You feel me? You're getting all of the above. You getting ran up a wall, and now you talking like I'm just the most masculine thing you've ever seen in your life. And you're okay. And so when I say this, man, I'm not saying you don't listen to your elders, but take what they say with a grain of salt. Live your life. You know what I mean? You learn from your mistakes. Use discernment. We all have made mistakes as younger men. We all have done things we wish we wouldn't have done. The thing is, you have to learn from it as you go forward. Learn from it. Learn what not to do. Learn what to do. Learn how you're supposed to conduct relationships with women, so on and so forth. Learn how you're supposed to conduct yourself, how the woman is supposed to conduct herself in a relationship with you. And then you take your lessons from that and move forward and keep it in your mental Rolodex so you can know, hey, when is the time for you to check out of a relationship, when is the time for you to check into a relationship, all of the above, you know? But don't let these older dudes act like you just the biggest sucker around and they just was above it and they still doing it in their old age. Aries is 50 years old, still finna keep doing the same stuff over and over again. You feel me? Travis Hunter, 21 years old? Like, Aries 50. So, he had called Travis Hunter game goofy to no end. But look what he got going on. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out, y'all. Peace.